Let's talk about 5 side effects and tips for intermittent fasting. Now, a lot of people are doing intermittent fasting. A lot of people are doing it wrong, and you may be doing it wrong. I'm going to share my tips how to get the most bang for your buck for intermittent fasting. But let's talk about some of the side effects first if you are not doing it in the right way. Okay, number 1, you can actually gain weight. So that weight gain is happening despite the fact that you're trying to lose weight, and that's why you're doing intermittent fasting. When you're doing it in the wrong way, you may be gaining that weight, and I'm going to explain that a little bit when I get to the tips. Okay, number 2 is constipation. So yeah, if you're doing intermittent fasting wrong, it can actually make you constipated. So if your poops are starting to look like this, so you've got what I call the meatball poop, or maybe even the rabbit pellet poops, or you've got really big, oversized poops that are difficult to pass, that can be related to doing intermittent fasting in the wrong way. Okay, number 3 on my list is an increase in stress. So for a lot of people, if you haven't fixed certain things first, which I'll talk about, it can cause more of a stress on your cortisol levels, on your adrenal glands. You could become fatigued over time, and it's not going to be working to your best advantage doing the intermittent fasting in the wrong way. Okay, number 4, another side effect of intermittent fasting could be poor sleep. So you're not sleeping well because your circadian rhythms are out of sync from doing that intermittent fasting wrong. And number 5, heartburn. So again, if you are having those meals at the wrong time, that can make your heartburn so much worse. Even if you didn't have heartburn before, you could develop heartburn just from doing the intermittent fasting. Okay, so more importantly, here are my 5 tips to help you to get the most benefits and the bang for your buck with your intermittent fasting. Okay, number 1 is to first fix your leptin resistance. Now, if you don't know what this is, please check out my other content. Super important to fix this whole hormonal feedback system between your fat cells and your brain signaling, and this is tied into your circadian rhythms as well. You've got to fix that leptin signaling. Okay, number 2, you've got to do intermittent fasting. Now, what does that mean? Well, maybe you shouldn't really be doing the intermittent fasting 7 days of the week. You may want to sort of break that up, maybe 3-4 days a week to really get more benefit, especially for fat loss with your intermittent fasting. Okay, tip number 3, eat a healthy breakfast. And this is where most people are doing intermittent fasting wrong, and I've done it myself in the past. It's much easier to skip your breakfast and delay your first meal of the day. However, that healthy breakfast is really important for your leptin signaling as well as your insulin resistance, your bowel movements. So you do definitely want to make sure that you're having a big healthy breakfast and focusing in on healthy protein, maybe some healthy fats as well. If you are going to have carbohydrates, have a little bit of carbohydrates, but make sure that they're healthy ones. Okay, tip number 4 is to fast your dinner. So remember, with intermittent fasting, you're having a period of time that you're not eating. You want to, yes, have that healthy breakfast, but fast your dinner and have that be the meal that you're skipping. You'll get a lot better results, especially for that weight loss. And tip number 5 for intermittent fasting is to reevaluate. So just do a self-evaluation, maybe once a month, and see if it's actually working for you. Are you reaching those goals that you're setting for yourself? Do you have more energy? Are you losing the weight? Or if you're trying to gain the weight, is this something that you're achieving with your intermittent fasting? And if you're not reaching your goals, it's something that you maybe want to reconsider if this is the best way to do it. Of course, using my tips that you've just learned now, see if that's going to work better for you with your intermittent fasting, especially for your weight loss. Now, to learn more about that leptin resistance that I talked about, please check out my video, 5 tips to fix leptin resistance. I'll see you there.